many of these neighborhood meetings, and I agree with Mr. Cobbs, the neighborhood has grown. So that's a good thing. Many of you know me, but I thought I would start with a little bit of background of who I am and how did I get to this point. I was born and raised in the city of Kankakee. My father had a business on Westport Street for 50 years. He was a butcher. He raised his family in the city. My brothers and I went to Kankakee School District schools, and then I went on to the University of Illinois and got a degree in English education. While I was at school, I met my husband, and he finished dental school, and we chose to come back to the city to raise our family. Our daughter was a student at Kankakee School District schools, graduated like her parents from U of I, and actually went back and taught in the district for 3 years before she moved to Ohio. For many years, I worked for Kankakee School District 111. I did their public relations, and I was in charge of the magnet program. My husband was taken ill and had to retire from his dental practice, and so I went back to work full-time at that juncture. About 12 years ago, I was approached to run for alderman of the 6th Ward. The current alderman was stepping down, so I decided to take a chance, and I ran for alderman, and I was successful. I ran a second time, and so I have served 8 years on the city council prior to deciding to run for mayor. Again, it was not a lifelong ambition. It was not one that I had ever thought about, but I thought that the timing was appropriate, not just for me, but for my family. So for the past 4 years, I've been the mayor of the city of Kankakee. It has been challenging, it has been exciting, it has been successful, and it has had its share of problems. The most concerning issue that we face in the city, and it may not be a fashionable one or a popular one, but it's fiscal, it's finances. And I'm sure all of you who have your own homes, your own budgets, you can share the concern that I face every day, because the city's budget is no different than yours, it's just bigger. And I was in Springfield on Wednesday and Thursday talking to our state legislators, because my biggest concern is, as the state of Illinois tries to balance the terrible fiscal crisis that it's in, it will do so on the backs of the cities and villages in the state of Illinois. We depend on many of our revenue sources from the state. They are already talking about cutting proportionately those revenues. So we face a challenge. The past 4 years, I've been able to balance the city's budget. We've maintained our A bond rating. This is significant because if your financial house is not in order, then nothing else can be successful. We've enjoyed industrial expansion in our community. We've had new commercial development at the shops at Meadowview. Our downtown has new businesses. We've changed the events that that take place downtown. Our Music Fest is very, very successful. I mention these things because they are quality of life issues. When you bring thousands of people to your community, they have a safe, enjoyable weekend, it only adds to the image that you're trying to create. The city of Kankakee was the first community in the county to pursue the municipal aggregation. You all should be seeing reduced ComEd bills. We did that. The average savings per resident, per household, is about $350. The council passed last Monday an ordinance for us to go out to bid for next year's ComEd rates, so we can hope to be able to share reduced utility costs to our residents for a second year. We have plans for a west downtown redevelopment on the campus of Provena St. Mary's Hospital. There's going to be a $20 million senior living center built on the property, the 6th Avenue at Station Street. It will house a medical clinic on the first floor that will be staffed by Provena St. Mary's Hospital and allow for senior living on the floors above. We have a redevelopment plan for the east side of town, what I call the old Mary Crest. If you grew up here, the Mary Crest Strip with the bowling alley. We had a fire there a couple of years ago. The city had to demo that property. The business owner had no insurance. We are currently negotiating. There are 3 different banks involved with the properties that are remaining on that strip, and we have a plan to redevelop that property. The exit 312, the interchange there at Court Street and 17, is in phase 1 engineering for a total redesign of that interchange. When I was in Springfield, we need to lobby for another $2.5 million as we complete the phase 2 engineering that's required before we can go out to construction. It's been a challenging 4 years. I won't even go into the sales tax issues that we have with Cook County and the city of Chicago. It is of no accident that we have interest from outside of our community coming here to look at our revenue streams. But I am absolutely certain that we will prevail. It's been a fight. I continue to fight. I spoke to the legislators when I was there on Wednesday and Thursday. You must understand that the city nor the county can ever afford to lose that revenue stream because it is imperative. It's $4 million on a $26 million budget. We are right. 2 courts have sided with Hartney Oil, which is the test case for this lawsuit, that we are absolutely legal in what we're doing. But of course, being right doesn't always mean you're going to win. So I've enjoyed my 4 years. I hope to be elected for a 2nd term. We have a lot of issues to face in this community, but we also have a lot of positives. We are a community that is diverse, but I think we all have the same interests. We want to live and work in a community where we can raise our families, have safe neighborhoods, and thrive together. So again, it's been a pleasure being here this evening. They told me 5 minutes. I don't have a watch on, so I wasn't looking. So I hope I have not overstepped my welcome. Again, thank you for inviting me here this evening.
Thank you.